Everybody. How are you doing today? And I'm just going to try to give you a quick crash course and give you a comparison. This is going to be a video about our amazing human body and how it actually compares to a vehicle. We have a lot of similarities. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But before we get started, hello, everybody. This is a class that I'm doing for absolutely free that you can kind of debuff the human anatomy and have some fun with your students. This is a class that you homeschooling parents do not have to teach your children. It's just a video that they can sit back, relax, get some popcorn, and learn and see the comparison between our amazing bodies and also an amazing operation of a vehicle and how in some cases, we're a little bit similar. So for those of you who do not know me, my name is Tina Ramsey, and I am your teacher today in regards to this amazing class that I'm doing for you here at Homeschooling Oils for my amazing Homeschooling Oils audience. I wanted to do something that in case you want to keep that learning going through the summer, but you want some help doing it. Well, for those of you who do not know, I am also a tutor. Yes, I tutor your children to success. My passions are learning differences. However, I teach the gifted as well. So I just want to share some of this information with you today about how your body and a vehicle are similar. How? That's you, boo. So let's go ahead and get into the class. You will notice when I do my classes, I like to give you good content, good information with humor because humor helps de-stress the situation. And hey, learning don't have to be stiff and not fun. We can have fun and learn at the same time. So let's go ahead and get started. All right. This is all about the human body. If you notice to the left of this slide, you can see all the amazingness of our bodies. We have the brain, we have our lungs, we have our heart, we have our stomach, we have liver, all of this amazingness in our body. Let me put my pointer so you can see where I'm pointing at. Look at all this amazingness with our body and how everything harmoniously works together. Well, did you know? Look over here to the right. You see all of this. This is actually up under the hood of a vehicle, and how it actually relates to our amazing human body, because just as our body harmoniously work together and everything has to do their part in order to help our body function properly, the same thing is the case with a vehicle. If something is not working properly, it will affect the rest of the vehicle, just like with our human body. So this is inside the body and under the hood. So let's go ahead and get on into this topic. It says, let's talk a little bit about our amazing bodies. Ooh, we have some amazing bodies and what they do. So this little guy, our pharmacy or our our doctor did this to make you smile. The human body. It says your body is very special. We need to look after our bodies to stay healthy. And although we may look still and quiet on the outside, our body is constantly moving and changing inside. Can you find the brain, the heart, and the lungs? So if you look at this illustration of the human body, it asks us the question, can you find the brain? Can you find the heart? Can you find the lungs? Well, I'm going to help you do that. You see, it's a diagram of the human body. So first it asks us, our resident doctor asks us, can we find the brain? Yes, we can. The brain is located in our head. So if you want to, you can touch your head. Next, let's find out where our heart is. If you look at my cursor, my pointer, you see the heart is located right here. And now we're going to look at our lungs, and we have two. So that is where we was actually able to identify the brain, the heart, and our amazing two lungs. Let's go on to the next slide. Here's our resident doctor. Again, we're going to talk about what do the lungs do? Many times we know that the lungs help us breathe, but what exactly do they do besides help us breathe? Because the lungs is a very intrinsic, inward body part or organ that does some amazing stuff for the body. So your lungs receives the air you breathe in through your nose. When you breathe in, the lungs puff out or inflate and deflate when you breathe out. From the air, they take the useful parts, which is oxygen. And just in case you didn't know, oxygen is a gas and it converts for use in our body, and then it goes and transitions to our bloodstream. And then the blood swaps with carbon dioxide, which is the waste of the materials, for our oxygen in the lungs. This is why the lungs are often said to be convert gases, because you see how the lungs are transitioning or converting oxygen to carbon dioxide. So our body is making gases. So now our resident doctor wants us to focus on our amazing heart. It's not just for us feeling the wonderful, fuzzy feeling of love. It's actually doing some work in our body. It says that our heart is made up of muscles. It pumps blood around our entire body and push it through our blood vessels and tubes. So I want you to just think about your heart is about the size of your fist. So I want you to ball up your hands and look at your fist. Usually our heart is about the size of our fist. So if you just imagine that and place your fist on your chest, you will notice that, hey, wow, so that's how big our heart is. It's usually in that range of the size of our fist. But guess what? Our heart is doing so much work because that small little organ is actually pumping blood throughout our entire body as we are growing. So imagine you as a baby. Your heart is pumping throughout your whole body, but then your body grows and changes as you get older. And that amazing heart is still doing that same job and knows exactly how much blood to pump in your body. That is amazing without you even having to think about it. It does it automatically. So our bodies are created amazingly. The heart is inside your chest. And your heart is protected by bones, which is called our rib cage or breastbone. So our heart is so super duper special that it needed an encasement. It needed something to protect it. So that's why we have our amazing rib cage to protect our heart. When the heart pumps, it beats. We measure the heartbeats, and that is called our pulse. When you go to the doctor, you notice that they usually measure your pulse. And they use to touch your wrist or your neck in order to count your beats. Your heartbeats. And did you know that your blood actually carries oxygen to different parts of your body that needs it? So our heart is doing something pretty amazing. It's not only pumping blood throughout our entire body, but it's also giving our body the oxygen that it needs in the parts of body that needs it. How cool is that without us even thinking about it? Next, we're going to talk a little bit about our kidneys. Not kidney beans, but our kidneys in our body. So what exactly do our kidneys do? So these are some different things that our kidneys really focus on, which is water. It helps with blood pressure. It gets rid of waste, bones, acid, heart, blood. All this, our kidneys are helping in some facet with doing when it functions properly. So with the water, it ensures that there is not too little or not too much water in the body, our kidneys. Blood pressure, make sure that the pressure isn't too high or too low. And the waste, it get rid of all of the toxins and waste out of our urine. And then the bones, it helps with vitamin D. It helps the body absorb calcium. And then we have the acid. It says it makes sure that the body isn't too acidic or too alkaline in our heart. Our kidneys actually help maintain a balance of electrolytes like potassium and sodium and calcium, which is very crucial to our heart rhythm, which means our heartbeat. And then lastly, it helps release when it's dealing with our blood to help with our bone marrow and make the amazing red blood cells that we need for our body. So the kidneys are not just something in there just taking a break. Our kidneys in our body are doing something amazing. Now look at her face. It doesn't look like she's getting the work her kidney's maybe not doing all the work it's supposed to. So she need to do a little checkup to find out exactly what's going on so she can get those kidneys function properly. So make sure you drink enough water a day. Make sure you're giving your body enough of the electrolytes and the vitamins and the nutrients that it needs. Of course, I want you to make sure you're doing this under your parent's supervision and also your doctor's supervision to make sure that you're doing all the things that you need in order to have healthy kidneys. Now, liver. Let's talk a little bit about our liver function, which is located right here a little bit below the lungs and your heart. So what exactly does the liver do? Well, the liver is kind of like the cleanup person. The cleanup person in the body. It basically helps with getting rid of waste. We already know that kidneys help do that. However, the liver does some amazing things too, and we're going to go over them. It says how the liver actually helps remove potential toxins and byproducts from our medication. So if you take medication, some of us do have to take medication for our bodies because we have different medical conditions. So did you know that if your liver is functioning properly, it actually helps remove certain toxins that maybe our medication has in it. It also helps break down nutrients, food. It helps produce energy when we need it. It helps your body fight off infection and remove bacteria from the blood. It produces a substance that helps with blood clotting, because if our blood didn't clot, we could actually bleed out. So the liver is very instrumental in making sure that our blood clots. So if you get a little boo-boo when you're playing, you notice how you don't bleed constantly. So it's because your liver is functioning properly, because it's promoting that clotting mechanism so that you will not bleed out. It will stop at a certain point. Then it also prevents storage of nutrients by storing vitamins, minerals, and sugar. So your liver is really working, and it produces most of the proteins needed for the body. It produces bio compounds, help us digest fat, absorb vitamin A, D, E, and K. All of these of which our body needs to function properly, but the liver actually helps with the function. So it's kind of like assisting the kidney in a way, because we know that the kidney does dispel the body of certain waste byproducts, but the liver is really cleaning up the rest of it. So we need all of that to work properly. Let's talk about blood, the amazing facet of our blood and what it actually does. And basically our blood is in the cardiovascular system, and the function of the blood is basically to carry nutrients and substances that is absorbed from the intestines to the tissue. It also carries oxygen to the tissues, and it carries waste products from your amazing tissues to the kidneys and liver. It also returns carbon dioxide from the tissue to the lungs. It regulates the body temperature, and it distributes hormones and other agents throughout the body. And your blood also helps to fight bacteria infections through the white cells and your antibodies. So I encourage you, if you don't understand everything that I talked about, I encourage you to look these things up individually. This makes for a good project. With your parents' permission, you can look up a YouTube video that talks just about blood and how amazing our blood is. So the next time you get hurt, or you remember when you got hurt, maybe you fell off your bike or something, and you see your blood, it's actually working to help your body. It's not just something there. Our body works harmoniously together to help us do a whole lot of things, and your blood is actually helping you and also help regulate your body's temperature. Who knew, right? So these are some health benefits for vitamins. A lot of you might not like taking your multivitamins, but this is the reason why you should take your multivitamins, because it really helps with the body. Because today we're not getting enough nutrients. We're just eating food. So we need to supplement with vitamins. So vitamin A is very beneficial for eye disorders and skin infections. B, Vitamins are very good for your moms when you're having another baby brother or sister, and also with emotions. Vitamin B also helps with energy, anemia, your kidney function, and liver disorders. Vitamin C helps boost the immunity. Vitamin C. Vitamin D, you can actually go out and get some natural vitamin D from our amazing sun. And vitamin E and K, all of these work harmoniously in the body, working with the organs to help your body work at its best. Now, our body works harmoniously together. It's very unique, and it's just very unique on how our body, everything kind of harmoniously work together. So it's very important that we pay attention to our body early on so that we can do the best for our body, so that when we get older, we won't have all the problems and the aches and stuff that many individuals have, because we took care of our body early on. Now, you remember how I told you this course is all about comparing our body to a vehicle? Now we're going to start comparing our body to a vehicle. And it's time to be wild. It's time to be wild. So let's compare our brain. Our brain supports our thinking. And did you know that most cars or vehicles have a computer dashboard that support the operation of a vehicle? So next time you get into your parents' automobile, I want you to look at the dashboard right here. Did you know that this is basically the brain of the car? Just like we have a brain for our body that helps us with thinking and maneuvering and doing all the things that we have to do. Guess what? The car dashboard helps to do the same thing. So the next time you get in a car, look at the dashboard. It's not just there to be pretty. It's actually helping with the overall function and operation of that vehicle, just like our brain. Next, this is an engine. Yes, this is an engine. The engine is basically the heart or the main focal point of a car. If the engine of the car is not working properly, then the car is eventually going to break down or stop working. The same thing with our heart. If our heart is not functioning properly, making sure the blood is flowing and getting rid of the toxin and adding all things that we need in our body, if it's not flowing correctly, then our body is not going to work correctly or not work effectively as it can. And eventually it could stop working. So we need to make sure that we keep all of our heart and eat the proper foods and nutrients so that our body works very, very well. And the same thing works in harmony with our vehicles. We want to make sure that we have all of these components working properly so that this engine in our vehicle will push out everything that it needs to push out in order to help our vehicle run properly. Now, this is an amazing little thing. It's called a spark plug, just in case you didn't know. This is small but mighty. A spark of electricity that emits across a small gap that creates the ignition to combust and start your car. So this small little, what they call a spark plug, is very, very important because it actually helps spark the engine that we need in order to start our car. It powers it up. So we are born to burn. So we are comparing our bodies to a spark plug. A spark plug helps powers up a car like sleep helps powers up the body. So if you are not getting enough sleep, I encourage you to try to get enough sleep, because just like a spark plug helps sparks the electricity that need to combust in order to start your amazing vehicles, sleep is a thing that helps sparks our body, power it up so that we can be the best person that we can be with the energy that we need to do all the things that we need to do. And if you are sleep deprived, you will notice that, hey, you might can do some things, but you're a little sluggish, you're a little lethargic when it comes down to doing things because you haven't had your proper sleep. So get enough sleep. Next, we're going to talk a little bit about our intestines and the exhaust system in a vehicle. Now, most of the time you don't see the exhaust system with your eyes now unless you look up under the vehicle. This is where we see the tube, the inner tube from the back of the cars, And then it's like a whole mechanism like this. You usually see it up under the car. I'm not encouraging you to go up under the car. However, the next time you can actually Google it if you have your parents' permission, and you can see how that looks real time from different mechanics who does it on their YouTube channel. So basically our intestines kind of work like an exhaust. It's taking all the gunk and all the stuff that we don't need, and it's like just spilling it out of the car. All of the toxins and the gases that we do not need inside the car with us, it's getting it out, putting it out into the environment, which is not necessarily a good thing, but we don't need it inside our car, and stuff like that. So that's the same thing our intestine does. We eat food, we drink beverages, and it's actually our intestines actually taking the good out of it that we need in order to help our bodies, and then it's getting rid of the rest. And you know what the end result of that is. So next we have our lungs and an air filter. In a car, vehicle, whatever you have, we have air filters. You might not see your air filters all the time, but every vehicle usually have air filters. And why is because it helps filters out the air of the vehicle to help it run effectively. Just like our amazing lungs. Our lungs, we breathe in through our nose, and it filters out all the different things that we do need and the things that we don't need, and get rid of it when it's working properly. So now we're going to talk about the importance of our blood. We talked a little bit about blood in the beginning. So now we're going to compare it to a vehicle. What is the comparison of oil and blood? So as we know, the importance of blood is that it brings oxygen, nutrients, and all the other necessary things to help our body cells and carry waste products away from the body. Blood also helps support our cardiovascular system, and also our heart pumps blood through all the different networks and arteries and veins in our cardiovascular system, or in the body. So the same thing is true with oil. Yes, we have an engine in our vehicles, but guess what? It needs the proper nutrients or the support in order to function properly. So that's why we use oil, which can be compared to our blood in the human body. Without oil in a car, the proper oil in the car, because every car uses a different kind of grade of oil, we got to make sure we use the right type of oil. But without that oil, the car would not function. The car cannot function without oil, just like the body cannot function without blood. So that is the importance of oil in a vehicle, and the importance of blood in the human body, and how they compare. Because in both cases, with blood, we have to have blood in order to live life, function, and a car has to have oil in order for the car or vehicle to function properly, because without it, it will not work. So that's why it's so important for us to do an oil change. You will notice that with vehicles, you do, after so many miles, you have to get an oil change. That is so you won't clog up the pistons and different arteries in the engine, so your car will run smoothly. Same thing with our blood. We need to eat foods and put nutrients in our body that actually purify the blood every so often, so that our blood flows properly in the body. Next, we have what they call a fuel injection, and then we need water for our human body. So what exactly is a fuel injection? Fuel injection is basically where you keep the fuel in the car. You know, when you go to the gas station and you fill them up, you get the gas, put it in your car, it goes into a chamber like this, and then it actually goes into the chamber, and then it goes through this filtration system where it's actually cleaning out the fuel in the car when you crank it, and it's like rotates through your car. Same thing with water. Just as we need this to work properly in a vehicle, because if it's clogged up or it's not a good quality grade of gas, you will notice that it will cause your car to act up, and in some cases, it can actually cause your car to die, meaning it stopped working. if your gas is not proper or good quality. Same thing with water. When we drink water, our bodies need water. So we need to make sure we give our bodies enough water, and we also need to make sure that our water is clean. Next, we have an axle and a spine. Pay attention to your spine. Our spine goes from the top of our head to the bottom of our tailbone. The spine is very, very important for the alignment of the body and also overall wellness. Just like an axle, this is an axle that comes off a vehicle. The axle is usually located in the front of the vehicle. It helps align the car, because the reason why an axle is so important for a vehicle is because if your axle is not working properly, you will notice that your car will be gliding from side to side, and if it breaks, it will lose direction. So, and it's very, very important. You will not be able to maneuver your vehicle with the steering wheel properly because your axle is actually defective or it's not working. You can't drive the car. Just like with your spine, you need your spine to be in line. Now, if your spine is not in line, you can sometimes still move and work around. However, it'll be very, very difficult and a challenge. That's why some of us go to chiropractic to get our backs in line when we have an injury, or maybe you have a deformity in your back, like scoliosis, and you need to kind of like get your back aligned to the best possibility that you can do it with your deformity. However, spinal alignment is so crucial into overall wellness, and just as an axle is important to the overall function of a vehicle. Next, look at all these cute little feet. Next, you see tires. Tires and feet support the balance of your feet support the balance of your body, and your tires support the balance of your vehicle. If you have misaligned tires or tires that are not the right size, you will know that your vehicle is going to be floppy. It's not going to make for a good riding experience. So you need good supportive tires that work for your particular vehicle. And just like with your feet, you need to make sure that you have supportive shoes on your feet to support your body. These are shocks, supportive shoes. So I talked a little bit about supportive shoes. We're going to get a little bit more into it. Now, this is a little device or a little instrument that is in the vehicle that's called shocks. So what a shock does is basically when you hit a bump or you hit unlevel ground, it helps balance the vehicle, so that you will not really notice too greatly the impact of a pothole because your car end up leveling off again. That is basically for the genius of shocks. So if you're running, how do we compare that to real life? If you're running, if you're walking and you hit a bump or your steps or whatever, you need supportive shoes to help balance the impact of rough terrain. Kidney function. Like we already talked about kidney function, getting rid of waste and stuff like that. We need to clean the body just like we need to clean our cars. This is something that you can use to clean your car out, the mechanisms. I actually use this, and it really helps to clean the car out and declog different things in the body so they can help not the body. This is for your vehicle, and it actually helps clean out your vehicle, your engine, all that good stuff, to help your vehicle run properly, just like your kidneys help clean out your body to help your body function better. So it's just showing the importance of maintenance in regards to your vehicle, using products like this to help your vehicle. If your vehicle says it can take something like this, because newer vehicles sometimes can't use this particular product. You have to check your instruction manual to see, can you use this? But with your kidneys, we need our kidneys to operate properly so that it can clean the body. Foods for the body and the car. So we know that gas is used to operate your vehicle. In some cases, some people use electricity now, and some people use corn oil. It just depends on what type of vehicle you have. So these are some healthy foods in which you can eat in order to help your body and support your body. Like we already talked about, vitamins help clean the body, help maintain the body, just like If we have a vehicle, we can't just ride in our vehicle all the time and never, ever, ever, ever clean it. So we need to maintain it so that it lasts longer. Vitamins help maintain the body so our body, we will live longer and have a more happier life because we're trying to do the things that help our body be proactive in maintaining a certain measure of wellness. Whereas with our vehicle, we need to wash the outside, clean the inside in order to help maintain our car or vehicle for a long time. Excuse me. So this is talking about maintenance. We need to go make sure that we get the maintenance on our vehicles, just as well as we need to make sure we get wellness checkups for our health and wellness from doctors. Just make sure that everything is on point with our bodies, because sometimes something is going on with our bodies and we don't realize it until we go get a checkup. And it's better to go ahead and tackle things early on instead of late. Same thing with our vehicle. So how about if we notice that something's not quite right with us? We don't feel well, or our vehicle is smoking. That are telltale signs of us know that something's not working right with our vehicle or our body. So we need to take care of ourselves. So these are different ways in which our body and a vehicle are similar. However, we know that we are completely different. However, sometimes it helps us to compare these different things so we can see how, hey, it's relevant. So the next time you look at a vehicle, you won't look at it the exact same way. And the next time you look at your amazing body in the mirror, you know that your body is an amazing working machine that's doing well, not a machine, but an amazing body operating system that's doing so many amazing things for your body so that you can enjoy your best life. So you guys, I hope you enjoyed this class on how your body and a vehicle are similar. So I hope you enjoyed it. Talk to you later. Bye. Oh, and I forgot before I go, you guys, make sure that you subscribe to this YouTube channel. Make sure you click the like button and also subscribe. Put a little comment down and let me know your thoughts on this. The next couple classes will be shorter. These slides was a little bit longer. However, I am so happy that you was able to watch this, and I hope this class helped you during the summer where you just need to keep the educational process going. Remember to follow me on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, and also share the videos and look down in my past videos to see what you like, what you can share. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope you enjoyed this video that I made for my amazing audience here at Homeschooling and Oils. Have a great day. Bye.